It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
Good morning. Today is Sunday, May 5th. The year is 2024. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. It rained last night. Something terrible, guys. I was in bed asleep, right? Heard this loud boom, boom. It sounded like something exploded. So I jumped out of bed, and I was a little disorientated because I was like, it literally sounded like an explosion. It was so loud. It scared the shit out of me. So I jumped out of bed and I ran and looked out the window, and I saw all this rain and thunder and lightning and stuff. So I decided, I said, this is a great opportunity. Let me walk through the house where they put the roof on and see if we got any water leaks. Because, I haven't really been here when it was raining like this. I was out of town. As soon as they put the roof on, so anyway, I walked around the house, went up in the attic, went around, looking around there. I didn't see any water leaks. Got out my flashlights, turned on the lights, and was looking around, just kind of watching just to see. Because that's the only way you're going to really know. But I didn't see anything, so I think we're good. The guy who installed the roof, he said he wants to come over and take a look around himself. Because he knows what he's looking for. I'm looking for. I didn't see anything. So far, the roofing company has been very, they've come over here a couple of times. I spent all their damn money. I bet they have come over here a couple of times. I just need to finish this basement project so I can figure out what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to rent this damn basement out. We thought we had found some tile. We didn't have enough of it. I might work on that today. Sometimes you get exhausted with this shit. And it's like, okay, enough. But I need some towel. I got a towel, the backsplash, and although it's got to match up to what's there, and I found something. We thought they had enough. I paid for it. Come to find out they couldn't find it at the store. They said they didn't have it. So shit. So when he went to go pick it up, they couldn't find it, and they searched, and then they searched other stores, and they still couldn't find it. So. And after we did, it was an extensive search to find that towel that would have worked. So now we got to start back over at square one. And, that's all I can do. I'm going to go back. I might go by that today. But today is Cinco de Mayo. I think I'm supposed to be going celebrating Cinco de Mayo with some margaritas and stuff. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you. Some people had asked me about what happened with this attorney who stole $100,000. First off, it took me years to discuss this with anybody. Because first, it was very embarrassing. I was very embarrassed that I gave this man $100,000 of my money. I entrusted him to hold it in his escrow account to be used for, this was years and years ago. I don't even know how this man was such a good shucker and jiver that he was able to convince me to give him $100,000. That's the thing. Luckily, I had $600,000, $800,000 in the bank. So $100,000 that was just a small test with him with the $100,000 he was holding in escrow. I forget what he was supposed to be doing with that $100,000 in escrow, but ultimately I was supposed to get a return on my money and blah, 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 which none of that happened. After giving him the money, a few months later, I approached him about, what's going on, with the money, and when would you start give me my money back. So we had a couple of conversations. Anyway, I got suspicious about something, and I don't remember what triggered my suspicions. And I think I remember what triggered my suspicions. I remember it now. The attorney who introduced me to Tony, I don't want to say this man's name. The attorney who introduced me to this man called me up and said, "Hey, what's going on? Did you give him XYZ money?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "You need to make sure everything's okay with that money over there, because I'm hearing to some other investors that something ain't right." I said, "Oh, okay, well, let me go check on it." And sure enough, after I began my investigation, I found out that, this individual had, in fact, was in debt. I was so furious when I found this out that I was going to go to the Bar Association of this. The only reason why I didn't go to the Bar Association, he invited me over to his house. And when I kept asking questions, I think he realized I was the only person that could help him get out of the situation that he was in. So he invited me over to his house, and I met his wife. His wife was the only reason why I didn't go nail that nigga's balls to the walls, because I was going to go after his ass. Because I didn't think that I would ever get my money back. I didn't think I'd ever get my money back. I met his wife. She was a beautiful, young, black woman with kids over at that house. And we sat there and talked. This house, they had bought this historic home, and they had to put all this money into this house. And at that time, that house was in the West End, and at that point, those houses were very complicated to get. The West End was rough at that point. Because I had just pretty much moved out of the old 4-4. And it was horrible. So the West End was really rough at that point. It's nothing like it is now. They had this massive house over there. He took my money and stuck it into that house. He took not just my money. I guess his plan was to renovate the house and maybe get his. I don't know if I guess he was going to try to refinance the house or something, but the house was in foreclosure. They hadn't made the mortgage payment, and she didn't know that until we sat down and talked, and we're going through the paperwork and found out this house was in foreclosure, scheduled to hit the courthouse steps. They didn't owe very much on the house, but the house was hitting the courthouse steps. How are you renovating a house that's about to hit the courthouse steps? This is trying to confuse me. Long story short, after many conversations with her, he had to devise a plan. Because the house was worth XYZ, but it still needed some work to get inside of there. We had to get in. It was a lot of obstacles we were going to have to jump to save that house and get the money out of that house and get my money back. Long story short, the house foreclosed. I ended up buying it. I purchased the house at the courthouse steps. This was at a time when a whole bunch of investors running around trying to buy shit down there. When they saw what he owned that was on the house, everybody was like, they don't want baby. They wouldn't. I literally bought the house for what he owed on it. I had to pay cash. Now, at this point, I could have filed an eviction and threw them out of there and had this house, but I didn't want that house down in the West End because at that point it was what was I going to do with that raggedy ass house that still wasn't completely renovated? But I was owner of the house now. So the game plan was, let's clean the house up. Let's get it done to a point where now I'm the owner, that we could sell it to his wife. She buys the house. She obtains the mortgage on the house, and I get my proceeds back. Whatever other money's left over, he gets, because I really didn't care. Now, I'm being just a really nice person at this point. I just wanted my money back. But this woman, she was the nicest woman. She had these kids. She had a business that she was trying to have those. There was just a lot of stuff going on. And I wasn't financially in a bad space. But I didn't feel like I had to go through all this. Any other investor would have bought that house at the courthouse step and did something else with it. But I worked with her after I acquired the home. I worked with her for her to purchase the house, and this took some time. Months. It took some time. So that I can say that. So now I'm in deeper. Now remember, he already got my $100,000. Now I own the house that he's living in. And now I'm trying to flip it to her so he can get the proceeds out of there to proceed forward. Well, I can get my money back. And this took a while, y'all. It took a minute because the house was not finished. And I literally had to put a little bit more money to get my workers in there to finish this fucking house. This is how deep this situation got. And I was furious at this point. Yeah, I was upset. Didn't know, but that work that he had done was some shoddy ass work. I'm like, and so we would end up having to correct some things that he paid all his money for. I was like, why? Because he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. All the time, all of all this was going on. He was on TV. He's on the news. All this shit was going on, and nobody knew what was going on in the background with this nigga and his finances. Nobody knew it. I didn't say anything. Well, back then with no social media either. With no Instagram, Facebook, and all that good stuff. I don't think nobody even knew to even go look and see, keep an eye on this man's finances, because it would have took a lot of work, research. I don't think anybody... I know for a fact. But anyway, as I was going through all this man was still stealing folks' money. That was the thing that was really troublesome to me. He was still taking folks' money. Still taking people's money. Just a thief and a crook. It just didn't make no sense. And all I had to go through to get that loan closed was just insane. To get my money back from this damn man. I ended up getting my money back, plus a little bit more after all that. I went through all that. Everything worked out good. His house was, we got the exterior of the house completed enough for the appraisers to come over there. We had to do some repairs. It was just a lot that had to be done. And luckily I was renovating the house. I had the crews and I could get this stuff done. And I ended up getting my money back out of this situation. I got it and they got the house back. The house was in her name now, so she was going to make sure the mortgage payment was paid. I made sure that they got a good interest rate on the house back then, because the houses were hard to finance down in that area. I worked with a lender. We got a lot of shit done, and that man was forever grateful for me for saving his ass, because he was able to get quite a bit of money back so he can go repay these other investors he ran off with their money. I don't know if he ever paid them back. I don't know. I got my money back, plus a little extra, and I was happy with that. However, I learned something from that experience. I don't trust these niggas. Anybody come to me ask something, so they want to hold my money and can they do this and they can do... Listen, I don't even entertain it. I don't care if you Jesus motherfucking Christ. You don't need no money from me to hold in your escrow account, and you gonna do this and you gonna do that. I don't trust none of these motherfuckers. I don't trust nobody. Because they smiling in your face. They so full of shit and lies. It's just ridiculous. It's just sad. It is. It is ridiculous. So anyway, that's what was going on with that scenario. A thieving ass attorney who lied to me and several other real estate investors, and I think he strategically went after real estate investors. I met him through another attorney who I had a closing with, and this particular attorney recommended him. You know, he can invest your money, he can do this, he can do that, and of course the nigga was taking the money and stealing it and sticking it into this rat-infested house. That child's house was so ragged, and they were living in that damn house with no central heating there. We had to get that fixed. It was crazy, y'all. They had moved into this house and was renovating this house, and y'all, I've learned something about attorneys and professional people with these degrees, because the money is funny. Unless you're working for a law firm, you're guaranteed an income. But when you're an attorney who has your own practice, you're kind of hustling your clients to get them to pay. You know, and in many instances, an attorney, you know, it's a hustle. And he was a damn good attorney, because I know some people who used this attorney. I know people who were guilty as hell, and they went to jury trial and was found not guilty. I know a couple people. He was good at winning jury trials. I was like, damn. And these motherfuckers were guilty. Guilty as fucking hell. Anyway, he had cancer the past few years. And he had cancer the last few years, and I think he passed away. I haven't I'm pretty sure the last I heard he had passed away. After all that went through, I kind of stayed away from him and that bullshit. Yeah, but he had cancer, and I think he died a couple of years ago. But anyway. Just be careful, y'all. And I understand that this happens just everywhere with these attorneys. And I'll be very honest with you, that was not the first attorney that I gave money to. I had some other attorneys that I dealt with some other issues, and they were just horrible. They were just horrible. It's to the point where I don't like dealing with attorneys. I don't like dealing with lawyers or attorneys. I'll do it myself. I just don't trust them. I haven't yet met an attorney that I trusted to do any type of legal work for me on there, unless I'm sitting there watching over them. That's okay. I'll do it myself. I don't trust them because they're not going to do what they're supposed to do, the lies, the bullshit. I don't trust none of them. I don't trust them. They're just full of shit. That's how hopefully I stay away out of any situation that requires me to have an attorney, because I don't want to have to go through all that shit. That's why I keep my distance from you niggas. I don't particularly get along with a lot of people because they foolishness, a lot of crazy shit. And so I had some guy who took me to court twice. He filed restraining orders against me, a bunch of lies and a bunch of bullshit. I called one attorney, he told me he want $5,000. I said, $5,000 for what? I handled that shit myself. In both instances, I got those restraining orders thrown out. But what I don't like to do is be sit up in some courtroom with no bullshit. That's why, y'all, I keep away from people. People come to me with all kinds of stuff. I don't be bothered with it. People want to do this, they want to do that. People will sue you in a heartbeat over nothing. I've been sued before. I bought a house for some crazy woman, and she didn't like the way something went on with the house, and she sued me, and we back and forth in court before I just said, fuck it, settle this over. It was some bullshit. I just gave her a check so she can go about her damn business. I mean, it was ridiculous. That's why I said, I don't like going around dealing with having to deal with these attorneys and stuff here, because they just a bunch of thieves and crooks and liars. And I know a lot of you all, I'm not the only person who has been swindled by these con artist attorneys out here and lawyers. Be careful when you give them retaining fees. Do your research. You now have the internet. You can Google and read. Call the Bar Association if you got to, see if they've had any issues or problems before you give them any money. I'm serious. These attorneys will run off with your money and you'll never see it again. Trying to give them a retainer fee, $1,000. If you have a legal problem or a legal issue, do your homework on the attorney that you choose to hire or give your money to. And ask 10 million questions before you pay them. And if you can't pay them, see if they can take an American Express credit card. You can go back and go call American Express and say, hey, I ain't give what they supposed to do, get my money back. A lot of attorneys don't want to take credit cards. They know you can get that shit reversed. So my suggestion is be careful. That's all I got to say is be careful out there with dealing with these attorneys, these crazy people. Just be careful. And be careful who you're dealing with and ask questions. Be careful before you write a check and get any money, because you'll never see it again. So that's what happened, and as best I can, I'm trying to condense this as long. It was a long process, y'all. I think from beginning to end, it took about, by the time I gave him the money and by the time I got my money back, it was about a year. So I got all my money back. Don't forget, I had to go buy that house off the courthouse steps. About a year. It was wintertime. I remember that shit because right around Christmas time, we finally got that house resolved. And I even went over there and helped his wife put up Christmas decorations on that house because we wanted to look like festive when they did the drive-by appraisal. There was some grand ornaments on it. The West End was horrible back then. Y'all, the house was vacant all over the place. It was horrible. It was horrible. It was bad. Bad back then. Now it's come along a lot longer. I know a lot of y'all have asked me about some real estate stuff, and I keep talking to people about it. I'm going to do a video about where I think the best places to buy real estate right now. And yeah, I'll be very honest with you. I'm absolutely loving the Donald Lee Howell area. And the Bluff. I mean, if you can get your hands on something over there, that's the hope. Yeah, they still kind of, the Bluff is still a little rough, but it ain't like it used to be, though. It's much, much better. The city of Atlanta is about to stick a whole bunch of money into that main street that runs through the Bluff in Donald Lee Howell. I can't think of the name of that street. They're going to have to do sidewalks, and they redid the parks over there. There's a lot of, the city is putting a lot of money into the Bluff, Vine City, the Bluff, and Donald Lee Howell. There's a lot of stuff going over there in that area. Grove Park. If you can find anything, Grove Park, y'all, I'm telling you. I need to do a video about that because I think there's an amazing opportunity. You might be able to find some good deals over there because there's still a lot of boarded up houses over there. A lot of them drive through there. You can be like, all these vacant houses owned by investors. I think that is a great area to invest in if you can get your hands on something. If you have the funds to purchase it, renovate, rent, or hold, or I would suggest holding. If you can renovate it, clean it up, and rent it out and hold it, move your ass in there, y'all. But I think that area right there, that whole Vine City, the Bluffs, Donald Lee Howell area, is lacking the commercial part. It's lacking the grocery store. And they don't have any of that stuff over there. But I believe they're working on something on Donald Lee Howell. They're supposed to be putting up some type of retail center or something over there, if I'm correct. I don't know. But anyway, today is Sunday, May 5th, the year 2024. I'm going to record this video. I gotta eat some breakfast. Last night I got in here late. I didn't really have it. I didn't eat nothing. I was really hungry last night. I ate a little something. I'm hungry now. Really make me some breakfast. Happy Cinco de Mayo, y'all. I'm out of here. Sunday, May 5th, the year 2024, and I'm out.